Hello everybody, my name is GK. Welcome to the 1.0 release of Islantiles, where Balatro scoring mechanics meet civilization style area placement. Thank you to the developers for sending me a key to play the game. I very much enjoyed the demo. The game comes out in 2 more days on May the 4th. You can find the links down in the description to get to the Steam page. For now, I think it kind of has some of my progress from the previous demo, but I'm just going to come to the Crown Lands here, our first civilization that starts with a crown, and we're going to go down to Wanderer difficulty and hit play. I just redid the tutorial a moment ago just to refresh my memory on some things, so I will catch you guys up with that as we go. We start with a crown. As leader of the Crown Lands, you start with a crown. It grants +2 heads at the end of each season. We will get to that in a moment. Temples are now available. I can left click here to find on the temples that are available. I can also find other treasures besides temples. So here is our island. We can drag and pan and zoom and look at all the lovely resources. Our goal is to score enough points by the end of the day. We do that by taking our goods and timesing them by our population, I think that is. We can also see that denoted down here in the corner. Wealth is goods times productivity. So we need to score wealth. Goods are our stuff, productivity are our heads. We do that by playing our buildings onto this island of resources. So let's see what we're starting off with here. Collector's Huts takes oranges and rivers, cornfields, corn and rivers, winery, oranges and rivers, but gains extra value if there is already a collector's hut on the board. A shell collector gets shells and corals. A woodcutter gets woods and I think that's like swamps or marshes. Sawmills get extra value from wood and marshes, but even more so if there is a woodcutter already on the board. And a gold mine for gold and mountains, and a mint for gold mountains and more value from gold mines. So let's start with something simple here. Let's take our woodcutter. We can throw them down here for 70. They will chop down some of that wood, and that is 70 goods to us. But if I take my sawmill now and just bump that over slightly, we can collect other wood, but we can also get the value from our sawmill. What building were you called? I can't remember. Our woodcutter. So that was in range of that. We now get extra resources. We have 200. We need 2,000 for bronze, 3,000 for silver, and 4,500 for gold. We do that across 4 seasons. So we're currently in spring. We will get to play out each of the seasons. As for how many buildings we can play, next to our score marker here, you can see there are 5 hammers. We've spent 3 so far. We have 2 more to spend today. And then we will get a refreshment of our hammers tomorrow after we score. Or next season, should I say. So, we could either play a single 2-cost building or 2 1-cost buildings. You want rivers and oranges, so you could go somewhere like here. 225 is not bad. Let's just do that. We won't try and min-max too much as we're learning here. So that is 325, and we get ×3 because we start with the ×1 as default, but we start with this crown as the civilization that we are gets that buff, just to make things a bit easier on the base settings. So, more resources populating the gaps that we harvested from previously, and now we have a fresh hand of cards. We can click on the deck here, we can see all the cards that we own, we can see what's in our deck and what's in our discard pile. Right now we have the other half of our cards, so there's nothing left in the deck at the moment. So, Fisher, Shipyard, Jeweler could all kind of work together. Hunter and Butcher are obviously looking pretty good over here. There's a lot of meat and other stuff going on. 170 there. Looks pretty damn good to me. And then we did see somewhere around here, all the way over there, that's why I haven't seen it, is a temple. We place a building on there, it will upgrade that card. So right now, the only real option for that would be an iron mine. Why don't we do that? We also get plus 100 for our troubles for doing that. Choose one of 3 blessings. Blessings are card upgrades that are permanent for this playthrough. Well prepared. On play, draw 1. Berries, plus 15 for oranges, but on an iron card. Is that going to be that useful? Wish. A duplicate is added to the deck. I don't think I want that right now. Just give me well prepared. That seems like a nice round benefit to get. And we still have 1 hammer left, so we can take our fisher. It's going to be either somewhere over here. There's like a 45, 75 is probably going to be about best. Yeah, we'll take the 75 there. That is 465 times 3. Just shy of another 1,500. That will add on to our score from spring. And we cross our bronze medal. To get the silver medal, we need another 630 points. I imagine we can do that. Right, there's a lot of meat and swamp over here. We do now have an iron mine right here, so we could come and perhaps play for the gold there. And then we can play this to cover some of the mountains. We can't build on the mountains, but we want to make sure that this gold mine is within the catchment zone of that. And then back here, what's looking good and juicy? We have 2, so we could do a sawmill. It shows you, if we look at the sawmill here, top right it says resources, and 2, that is the range of the card. So these cover a 7-tile spread, whereas these guys cover, I don't even know what it would be, 15 plus 8 plus 6, 24, something like that. But this sawmill is not looking the most prosperous right now. But do we have a... We do have a woodcutter already on the board. So if we make sure the woodcutter is within our realm, then we can get some extra value. And then that all ticks together. That's another 1,000. And then if we want to get gold, we need another 535. I think we can probably get there. We have a hunter on the board already there. So we could put out a second hunter, which does not score too much, but we can then play a butcher that encompasses 2 hunters, which seems all right to me. Then we've got 2 hammers left. Let's go smelt over here. Get the other buildings in there. And 300 times 3 will be enough for us to get our gold medal. So, the season is over. We get 6 coins for beating the level. We get an extra 2 because we beat silver and gold. We don't get anything for ending early because we used all of our seasons. And we get no interest because we didn't have any gold going into that round. And then we head into the shop. So, 2 things we can spend our cash on here. There are technologies, which you can think of as relics. And treasure trove is for new cards. So, end of season, +4 population when you have less than 5 gold. Well, we only have 8 gold right now, so that seems like it's going to work out quite well for us. Shrimp farming, +1.7 population if building is placed on a beach tile. I think I could just take both of those. We only have room for 5 relics total, or 5 technologies, but we basically don't have any other things to think about. I mean, we do have 1 gold left, and some of these do cost 1, so perhaps it is worth stopping to take a look at what we've got. Altar of Sacrifice adds an altar to the following island. When a building is placed on top, the building card is removed from the deck. Interesting. So we can spend 1 gold to remove a building later. We will have to spend a turn, or hammers, of one of our seasons to put that thing down. A trading post rank 2 does get shells and benefits from a couple of our coast-based buildings, or a hermit gets value out of fish and shells. Now, this has a huge catchment area of 3 circumference from the center, but it does cost 3 hammers to play. So I think I'm going to take the Altar of Sacrifice, and then we'll go to our next island. And now we get a choice. So where would we like to sail to next? We go to a safe island that has 2 altars and gives us 2 coins in reward. There's a balanced island which has 1 altar and 5 coins in reward, or a risky island which has I think that might be a school instead of a church, which is a different kind of upgrade. One of the ones that lets us get rid of a card, and then 5 as well. With 2 here and a lack of gold, we kind of don't want too much gold because of our poorhouses. We'll just go to the safe island for now. So, our new targets, 3200, 4800 and 7200. Reach the bronze medal before the end of winter to successfully settle the island. That is our losing condition. If we don't get 3200 points by the time all 4 seasons have played out, then we have a problem. What we also don't have right now are any coastal buildings, really. So what can we do? Mill wants a cornfield to exist. Winery wants a collector's hut to exist. This looks like a very strong collector's hut, doesn't it? And then our winery to go with that. 110, 130. 145. That is the Altar of Sacrifice. I don't think I want to do that just yet with this. Now, I should probably think about using these altars, the temples, earlier in the round, because that's going to upgrade a card, and then after 2 seasons there's a chance I'll shuffle that card back through and get to play it. So what can I play here that would be... Actually, if we're going to try and make use of shrimp farming, maybe we upgrade our coastal cards. So if we're not playing anything else right now... 2 hammers. We do some wood cutting. And there's a little corn, but not a lot. A gold mine somewhere. 45, 40, 15. It's not super strong, but we'll get it down. So 335. And that is times 7 because of our extra technologies, plus our crown. And now we have a bunch of this coastal stuff that we want to utilize. So we get 1.7 population if building is placed on a beach tile. So I suppose that's technically, even though this is coastal, it's not a beach. There is a specific difference. Let's get a fisher there. A shell collector. Well, the shipyard doesn't really care about the shell collector. So let's put the shipyard on here. It's not on the coast, but we get an upgrade. More for seashells or bigger range. Seems like it could be huge for us. So maybe we want to find islands that are kind of more archipelago-y. That is the technical term for something with more archipelago. And then 2 hammers left. Let's get you over there. And an iron mine is going to draw a card, which is kind of redundant right at the end of the turn, but that's fine. It does mean we shuffle through to a different card faster. $3,700 gets us way up there into autumn, so we should be able to finish before we get to winter, which will get us a little extra bonus. The shipyard got shuffled back through, and we can now see the huge distance in which it can farm stuff, which is lovely. Where was that other altar? There. You know what I might do then? I might put that shipyard on there and get another upgrade for it. Reduces hammer cost by 1. That's pretty good. Wood and berries. Yeah, let me reduce the hammer cost by 1. And then we want to remove something from the deck, I think. Using the altar of sacrifice here. I could see a woodcutter go. Goodbye, woodcutter. We hardly knew ye. Alright, what's going to score us the most just on this last thing? Did we put... We did put a winery down earlier. We have another winery right by it. Seems fine. And all of that. 300 times 7, plus the excess on the end. So, 2 coins, plus 4 for our medals. Early end, we get 1 because we didn't use winter, and no interest, we collect 7. Beekeeping, green cards played, give 1.5 population. Boost of motivation. Buy this technology and the shop wants to discover it on play, plus 0.75 population. Huh? How? Not sure I understand that quite yet, but let's see what else we've got. Trading post, gold mine with extra value from mountains, a sawmill, and a school. Adds a school to the following island. When a building is placed on top, the building card is transformed. Right, we have 7. We need to get under 5. Right, give me boost of motivation. I guess that's just a 0.75 for everything we play. So maybe it's better to play 5 1-hammer things rather than a 2-hammer, a 2-hammer, and a 1-hammer. Things to think about. We're on a blue card bent, really. Trading post, range 3. Resources, golden shells, plus a couple of the buildings we want to use. The jeweler, not the dweller, the jeweler and the net. Do we have a net? That's not that. The shell collector. Or we could hold 4, because 4 is kind of the most that we can hold without going over. We'll hold 4 for now. So, it turns out that the island coins was not just how much you get, but how much the medals are all worth, I believe, on the silver and gold medals. Where do we want to go? Honestly, there's so much reward here. I kind of want to try it. We've got pretty good stuff. There's just so much reward. And like, there's plenty of beach. I'm not sure what pink is. Let's try it. What's the worst that can happen, right? Pink looks like coral. Right, we need at least 5,000. We can definitely do that. We can definitely do that. Something we want to get rid of. We could ditch the hunter. It's only worth a base plain 100, which is not huge. Fisher, giant shipyard, and shell collector. I almost certainly want to play all of that. Where? Probably either just here or maybe down there. But we want to play on beaches, so let's go check out this end of things. There's not much fish here. There is a lot of coral. So let's start with you. And you. And then stick the shipyard. Somewhere. Man, 70 does not seem like a lot, does it? I guess we took all the fish and coral already. Is part of the problem with that. Oh, I know what my mistake was. I was thinking about the tier 3 shipyard that we didn't buy. Okay, yeah, that'll do it. All right, stick that down there with your buddies, and this turn is looking a bit of a write-off. Though times 8.35 is not bad going. Is there one thing that we could play now that would get a lot of good value? There's not a lot of copper. There is a lot of river. 85, 85, 180 if we sacrificed it. I don't really want to sacrifice this. Put 100 there. Right, 235 times about 15, I think. 15.1. Alright, that's not too bad, all things considered, I think. Now, we should definitely make use of our upgrades before we lose them. We got rid of the wood chopper, so it would make sense to get rid of the sawmill as well. Where are you? So, sacrifice the sawmill for a flat 100. Then we've got a jeweler and a shipyard. They don't have to go all together over there. One hammer left. Yeah, the shipyard is not doing as much as I would like. How about we just upgrade it again? Maybe we get some extra value from something else. And we get the 100 points for using the temple. Plus 10 on rivers, another +1 range. Or extra value for grain. I think I'm just going to go even bigger range. That seems like an absurdly strong unit all in. Not quite as strong a turn as last time, but I think we'll be alright by the time autumn comes around. Or fall, as it is known in game and in other parts of the world. Right, we need 500 points to get to silver, and then another 3,000-ish thereafter, 4,000 to get to gold. We can do that through winter, although obviously we are incentivized to do it faster than that. We've got a temple there. Where's the other one? Right next to it here. Okay. Are you a beach tile? No, you are not. I can see the light. Should we upgrade the shell collector? Destroys the card, gives 4 gold plus 3 gold per card upgrade, plus 1 range, berries. Let's take more range again. And we are going to need to find some more value from somewhere. Though right now, we could just upgrade this for the flat 100 as well. Duplicate is added to the deck. Wood. Berries. Give me wood. Since we got rid of our woodcutter, we're less likely to conflict with other resource gathering cards. And then we've got 3 hammers left. We don't have much going for us right now. We could do corn and a mill. We're not going to have anything on beaches. Which is fine. Not everything has to be on the beach. That's another 4,500. Is it enough? It is. We get to skip over winter again by 100 points. A second shrimp farming is super interesting because then we're like really incentivized to just focus on those coastlines. Whiskey. End of season, plus 2 sell value. Currently 3 sell value. Well, that's interesting because right now we're trying not to hold cash because of poorhouses. So we could take shrimp farming, take whiskey. You can sell technologies. Left click on technologies to see the sell value and sell button. Right click to abort it. Right, that puts us back on 4 again. A cornfield that can harvest shells. Oh, we can't afford 5. Never mind. Do I want extra temples in the next one? I mean, they don't hurt, do they? Right, we just bought 3 temples. So I'm pretty comfy taking this guy with like the swaths of beach between coastal tiles here. We get no inherent treasures, but we get the 3 we brought with us, which should be just fine. Okay, let's look at where these guys are. There's one on a beach, that's lovely. There's one just inland there, and there's one on stone back there. Okay, who wants to go on this beach? The jeweler wouldn't hurt. So let's do a shell collector there on the beach. And then upgrade the jeweler. Quick and dirty. Reduces hammer cost. Or plus 10 for reefs. I think I'm just going to take plus 10 for reefs here. I need more base value to go with my multipliers. So on the coast, I think that'll end quite nicely for us. A fisher over there on the coast. And then a collector's hut and a cornfield. $60. Ah, well. Just that then. $300 times 20, 6,000. Not quite past bronze, but a good chunk. Oh wow, it's +2 at the end of every season, not at the end of every year. That's even more delightful. Okay, our huge shipyard. We've got no other blue cards to kind of compete with our potential for resources here. 210 there is pretty massive. Are you your beaches? Yeah, your beaches. 220 here. Alright, before I play that, I'm going to play my iron mine because that lets us draw a card. And if we draw a blue card, then I'd like to play the other blue card before that, but we don't. Okay. So, 220. Humongous shipyard. Now, I really just want to play other things on the coast to get more multiplier, I think. We've got 3 hammers. We can't play a gold mine on a beach. That's just not going to work out for us, unfortunately. Not in any way that's remotely practical. Hunter. Cornfield. 30, 30, 30. The gold mine's the only one left. We could just play it down here. We get 0 value, but we get 1.7 twice on our multipliers, which seems worth it to me. Stuff repopulates on the empty tiles between seasons. And we hit 8,500, so we zoom past silver. We need just 1,500 more for gold, in which case we will make sure that we are making use of these temples before we do that. Let's get the jeweler. Okay, get the shell collector here on the coast. And then get the jeweler onto the temple. Let the animations catch up. One more range, iron and wish. A duplicate wouldn't be the worst thing. I think we can do that later. Give me more range now. And then over here, we're not going to get any value from this fisher. But we get the 100, which is not bad. And swamps, draw, or seashells. I don't know how swamps generally tend to populate in relation to the coast. Like, there's a little bit of potential overlap right there, but it's not great. So just give me the seashells bonus. And then we need to play one more thing. It's not on the coast, but it gives us some base value. And that looks like it will be another successful autumn without having to play through winter. Crushed it. 10 gold. And the value of whiskey is currently 9. Healthy diet. On play plus 0 population. Green card played. Healthy diet gains 0.04 per card upgrade. Community. On play plus 0.075 per building, temple, school and trade route on the island. I like the idea of that because we've discounted some of our stuff, so we're playing a lot more 0.0. We're playing a lot more 1 cards, which means more 0.075s over time. Let's sell our whiskey. Buy this. Then we need to get under 15 again. We can do temple. Oh my god, I didn't even see this option to buy a technology slot. I would have done that with 15 if I'd have been paying any amount of attention, but it's not a mechanic I remember from the demo, and it just kind of completely passed my brain by. A couple of big trading posts. But 3 hammers is a lot. Blacksmith, not what we need. On start of island, places a great market. Great market. End of season, plus 100 for every building within 1 range. That's interesting, because that's a way for us to get goods rather than productivity. But no. We need to get under 5. Let's just buy another temple and go next. I like the look of this balanced island for how much pink it has on it. Right, island 5 of 8 for the run. Alright, loads of temples around the gaff, which is lovely. So, plus 0.75 per building, temple, school, and trade route on the island. Currently plus 0.45, because the temples all count. Okay. Shell collector. Go there and get an upgrade. I can take a duplicate of that. Sure. Then the fisher. Yeah, I could put you on there. A fisher that gets more value from fish? Yes, please. Right, the shipyard is fully upgraded, so no need to take that temple with it. 250 for that guy there. Seems pretty chunky. And then we've still got 2 hammers left. I'd like to place stuff on the coast, really. How about a hunter? Right there. And we can't get an iron mine close enough to a beach, I think. How's this guy doing? Currently 0.6. But look at it all stacking up every time we play something. It's just added every time. You know what, iron mine? You can take that guy there. Destroy this card and give me a bunch of money. We will lose poorhouses for this round, but it would give us 10, which by the end of the day or the year will be enough for us to buy another slot, which I think sounds good. Also makes it easier for us to find our blue cards that we want. 700 times 19. That's what, 14,000? 14,200. Okay. That's going well. Something to upgrade here. Shell collector. That's a good shell collector. Grain's worth the most out of these. I don't love them, but I'll take it. Jeweler and shipyard. Where's our last two? There's one right here. Doesn't look like it's on a beach. And you are definitely not on a beach. Let's put our jeweler on here. 300 is very big. Definitely not cleansing fire this time. Put some swamp on it, though I will change that out later, given the chance. Anything I really want to take on this temple for? I'll take the upgrade. Maybe we can get rid of the cornfield. We can't. Take some wood. How does our year end here? Oh, our year doesn't end. We've got one more hammer left. I was like, why isn't it doing it? Shipyard, you just get to go somewhere absolutely busted, right? 195, 190, 140. Right, that's 7,000. Plus a little extra. Should get us there, I think. $775 times 15 is 13,500. Nope, 11.8. But we get there, we don't even need fall or winter this time. So we come out with another 13, which means we can now buy that tech slot. Fertilizer. On play, plus 15 per empty tile in range. On play, resources in range grow. This is interesting because I think a lot of coastal tiles are technically empty. Either that or they don't exist. I'm not sure how that quite works out. Or a second poorhouses. I mean, stack the poorhouses, I guess. I'll take an altar of sacrifice. Reroll. Oh, this one re-rolled as well. End of season, plus 3 per remaining hammers. Don't want that. Don't want that. More temples means that community gets more upgrades faster. Safe, balanced, and risky. This beach looks very strange if that is how the beach is populated there. Well, see, I might just take the risky. I think we'll manage. Hope we'll manage. Okay. Very early, I kind of just want to get rid of some stuff that we're not using very much. How much do we need? 12,000. Right, get rid of that. And then, where are you guys? Oh, these guys are all doing stuff. You're on a coast. You want to change this swamp? Actually, we're getting some value from swamps there, actually. would I rather have oranges than swamps? I guess it's much of a muchness, isn't it? Swamps are offering us 10. Berries can offer us 15. Sure. Shipyard, I'm very happy with your vast size. Where do I want to play you? Not the best scoring stuff in the world, but 115, 110. Leave that there. We are at plus 14.3, which is not bad going. There's very little gold. There's also very little corn. Corn and wood, though, could work. Honestly, I think I might just be better off playing something on a coast. No good beaches. I can't quite get to that guy from there, can I? I can do that one. Crushed it. And then we're going to get our extra productivity out of the poorhouses and the crown. 500 times 30. Chill 15k. Takes us right up past bronze. Do it again and we get gold. Look at all that blue stuff. Okay, something to be gotten rid of. Why are you right there? Let's get rid of this butcher. Goodbye, William Butcher. And then stuff for upgrading, I think. This is our other shell collector. Well, I don't love it, but I'll take it. And then we have our other shell collector. Playing it on the coast is just a bonus. Give me more draw. We can just keep cycling through these strong blue cards. I've got no problem with that. I don't want to upgrade any of those right now. 100, 80, 65. Stick you on 100. I wonder if with enough money you can buy another relic slot. Obviously we're not set up for high interest build at the moment, but something to think about on other builds for sure. $13k. We missed it by 200 points, which could be considered a blessing if I really want to use this altar. I think I'm alright. We could put a cornfield on it and just have a better cornfield. And then a fisher. And a jeweler. And just throw a gold mine on the coast. That can all work itself through. After this one, if I play again, I will increase the animation speeds, I think. But for this first one, no rush. Community is going great. Like on play plus basically 1 on every play just adds up real fast. Alright, no winters here. Get our goal. Yeah, 25 for another technology slot. Outpost. Blue does not gather resources without upgrades, but it's 3 range for 1 hammer, collecting all mountains. Honestly, I'll take that. I'll take 2 altars of sacrifice. 7 gold. Give me all the buildings. And this time we could do this balanced island, I think. So we start with 7 buildings on the board. So for community, that starts very nicely. I think... Okay, we gotta find all of these guys. I think I'm just gonna get rid of gold mine and smelter. Got to be getting to a reasonably... Yeah, only 11 cards in the deck now. Some of them offer us extra draw. 2 hammers left. We can do Shell Collector and Fisher. And obviously we want them on the coast. Shell Collector can go there and get an upgrade. Shell Collector with more shells. Don't mind if I do. And then Fisher... 100 there is pretty good. Oh, 185 there. Oh, that's on a destroyer tile. I don't want to do that, obviously. 115. I feel like I'm going to need to buy a much higher tier coastal building soon if we get the opportunity. 600 times 22.99. A chill 14k. We need 16 for bronze. We'll definitely get there. Right, where are you? We want this outpost to get upgraded. Reefs or seashells? Seashells at 30 seems pretty good. And then schools allow us to entirely change buildings. Place a building here to transform it into another building 1 tier higher with the same number of hammers. Upgrades are preserved and the new card is drawn immediately. I'll take another shipyard then, I guess. Shipyard 2. I wonder if it's worth upgrading the shipyard that has extra range and stuff on it. My only concern, of course, is that in doing so, if we don't get a blue tile option, we're going to have to wait to find a different school. But you know what? You live once. Jeweler 2. And the card is immediately drawn. 175. 325 is humongous. 340, but not on coast. So 325 on a coastal tile. That'll do very nicely, I dare to say. $1,000 times 23 or 23,000. 21.4 with the rounding naturally. We are 800 under what we needed. That's fine. I want to play this outpost in somewhere that's going to get us a bunch of points. Actually, where are you? Shall we get rid of the mill? We just have such better things to play. We may as well get rid of that. Just throw a bunch of this stuff down. Kind of without thinking, because we're so close to the score requirement that we need. Alright, let's go settings, gameplay, animations, fast. There's a lot to tick through there. Alright. 555 times 30, 17. We get our gold medal. Collect 9 chess on play plus 2.25 if building collects more than the previous building played this season. Artisan. Level 2 Fisher. We have to spend our money for our double poorhouses, but I don't think I want chess. Fertilizer, strip mining, altar of sacrifice, 2 of those. And start getting rid of anything that's not blue. End of season ×1. Offerings gains 0.04 when visiting a temple. Bit late for that, but would have been great otherwise. Shipyard 2? How many cards do we have now? 10. And 5. Go Temple, Shipyard 2 next. Now, I like the idea of this, mostly because it has the extra buildings, which then makes community stronger. But there's not a lot of coast there. So I'm just going to take the safe island. It's difficulty, island number 8. This is where we get our win. We just need 20,000 points, which I'm sure is doable. First of all, you there. Say goodbye to the winery. You there. Say goodbye to the cornfield. Stick in the outpost, and for one more, the giant jeweler will surely do well. 245, can't complain. $650 times 25. Yes, that's a good chunk in. That's a third of what we needed. Right, an altar on the coast. Let's upgrade you again. Wish, grain, and river. Take the river. Water often leads next to other water. then 4 hammers left. Fisher. Shell collector. Where are you? Right there. Shipyard 2. Fishes. How did we do? Another 16k. We just need another 12. I'm sure we can manage that. Outpost for 120. It's probably not the strongest one, but you know. Right now, I don't have to stress about it. I'm just real strong. 180, 195. And 2 hammers left. $230. Time for the dentist. Crushed it, mate. Wanderer, beat the first difficulty. Crownlander, beat any difficulty as the Crown lands. Well done, you've conquered this difficulty level. Your skills will truly be put to the test on the next island, where you can compete for a top spot on the leaderboards. Go to the final island. I forgot this was a thing, but yes, we can compete for a top spot on leaderboards. Reroll. On play, plus 0.7 per meat in range after resources are collected. I mean, none of my stuff uses meat, but at the same time, I don't really have room to take that as like a speculative thing. Forester 3. Outpost 3. Altars of Sacrifice I don't really need. On play, plus 5 per that. Oh, that's bootstraps, innit? Plus 2 hammers each season, minus 2 hand size. I think I want that. Because our hand size is just blue. And then we can just play everything, right? And then we get more for community and more from shrimp farming. Plus 4 at the end, or on play plus 0.75. Let's get rid of a poorhouse. Take rune forging. And we'll take the 2 altars of sacrifice so there's more buildings on the island. And I'm just going to take the one that has this huge swath of beach. So, if I wasn't worrying about score earlier, I should hypothetically worry more about my score now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hammers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can play everything but a 2-cost card. Look at all that real estate down here. There's no mountain near beaches, unfortunately. But I mean, like, what's the biggest this guy can go? 240? It's kind of a decent chunk of materials, isn't it? Then shell collector with some orange. But we want beach. And then we just take the 125. A fisher. 155. Right, giant jeweler. A 325 jeweler is colossal. And this shipyard is better than that shipyard. Extra value from fish. 110. 195. Sold. So we don't have a target score. We're just scoring as much as we can across all 4 seasons. But 27k, I wouldn't call that a shabby start. Now, we might run out of beach tiles, which could be its own problem. Show me where these guys are. I'm going to spend one of my valuable turns getting rid of that so I don't draw it again. Then put a shell collector here and a 295 point jeweler. Then we've got 3 hammers left, so we can play a 1 and a 2. $55, 40, 215, 225, 215. Shipyard on coral or fish with extra fish. Yeah, by winter we might not have much coast left. And by coast, of course, I mean beaches. Outpost is solid. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hammers left. We can play the whole hand, which is nice. I'm not going to be overly precious about where all this stuff goes, because otherwise I'll be here all night. $375 jeweler. Oh, I drew a card, so I can't actually play it all. 285 jeweler. I'd say that's going quite well. No idea how we're going to stack up on the leaderboards. I'm sure. Actually, I was going to say, I'm sure other people have already got this, like, sussed, but I don't know if there's scores from the demo, and I don't know how many scores might have been posted by other people playing the pre-release 1.0 version of the game, so there could be loads of high positions on the boards out there on offer. We'll find out in a minute. Let's do another 220 up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can do 1, 1, 2, 2. We've got jeweler near fruit. Can't really see the beaches anymore. Oh, that's a pretty good one. 270. I don't want to click that because that's the altar of sacrifice. Although, does it matter if I sacrifice it all the way in winter? Maybe not. Maybe it's worth getting every ounce of value out of that. 80, 120. $40, $65. Alright, we're going to play you. There. Lots of buildings in play. 1.58 for everything we played in the late game there. Or for the very last one that we played rather. 128.3. Global rank number 3. Well done, Wanderer. A new chapter awaits you. Continue as a sailor and lead your civilization to even greater prosperity. Discover luxuries, a brand new way to expand your wealth with your collected resource coins. Wishlist, back to menu, start new run. All right, we've got some new mechanics for next time, but now, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe for more, check out the game with the links in the description. We have gained a new technology discovery, Monopoly. Collect 10 of the same resource using a single building. Technology gained, theft. Reroll the shop 5 times. Technology gained, master builders, place 75 buildings. Watermill, settle an island before the winter. Settle an island before the winter. Alright, there is a lot to get. There's 105 collectibles here in this, like, I don't even know. So many of them have like specific unlock conditions, which is my favorite way for unlocked conditions to exist in the game. But as I said, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe for more. Let me know if you want to see more of this, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.